Okay, for the next 7 to 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you something I think is the coolest and most powerful insight I've had in a long time. My biggest fear is that you are either just going to turn this show off or not give it the credit that this is due. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a concept and a question that I think is going to transform things for you both in your life and in your business. Please stay tuned for this whole show. I'm going to make it quick. I'm going to make it tight, but I know it's going to make a big difference for you. So I can't wait to see you on the rest of the show.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of greatness quest with your host Trevor Crane, my daddy. He's going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
You're supposed to make me sound cool.
All right, so I was just at an event, and then I was at another event, and I've been doing a lot of personal growth, and I've been doing a lot of marketing seminars and leadership trainings, and I just came to this realization. In fact, that it's been days, the last few days, I've come to this point of being so freaking excited to share with you a question that I'm going to start putting at the forefront of my life on what it's going to take for me to get what I want. So if you want more, this show is basically about you having more in your life and more in your business. I'm assuming that you are in business or that you want to be in business, and I'm also assuming that you want more. If you don't want more, then this is not the show for you. If you're interested in becoming your best and becoming more and having more and experiencing more and in giving more, then this is the right show for you. And so without any further ado, let me just give you this. And the question, and please just stay with me here. I want you to hear this because I want you to get the question. I want you to stay for the lesson. All right. The question is, who are you becoming? Or perhaps a more important question is, who am I become? Or who do I need to become? Now, let me share with you the context of this so that you get it. I shared on, I think it was 2 episodes ago, how to attract and keep the perfect partner. And this is how I wrote down in my journal all the things that I wanted, why I wanted them, all the things I didn't want, why I didn't want them. And that was really cool. That was like a vision board type of a journaling exercise. And I think you should totally do that about whatever it is that you want in life, your perfect partner, anything. But I shared with you that the more powerful question that I'm actually in control of is, who do I need to become to attract and keep that person? And that guy that I needed to be did not show up. He was not present when I created that journal entry. I needed to go create him. There were some things I needed to stop doing, and there are some things that I needed to become as a man to go ahead and attract and keep the woman I'm now married to. But for some reason, I hadn't thought about applying that to other areas of my life. Now, I was just at a training, and one of the questions they asked me, which is, how much money do I have in my bank that I can wire to you? Like right now, let's say there's an emergency and I need to wire something, and I need to do it right now. Like, how much money could I go wire? How much cash? And this is my question for you. Now, this is your challenge today, to just follow along with me in this exercise and then see what this does for you to use this question. Okay, so imagine this. I want you to go ahead and do this right now. Pause this recording if you need to, and just write this number down. I highly advise that even if you're listening to this and walking around or driving or whatever, that you take a moment to, even if you're in your bathroom, draw the number in the fog in your mirror, something. I want you to see this number. What's the number? If I needed you to wire this to me, or you needed to wire money to somebody, that it was really important, what's the number? What's the most you could wire, cash, that you could give another human, maybe to save someone's life, whatever it is. Now, I'll give you my answer, and this isn't an answer that I'm proud of. And part of my new truth, and it's not like I haven't been telling the truth, that's not it. But oftentimes when I'm communicating in my marketing, when I'm communicating as a leader, and I'm communicating with my clients, I might leave some things out, and I'll probably still do that because I don't need to dump on everybody everything. But I sometimes will not share with people something that I think will make me look bad. And this is one of them, because I'm not proud of my number. I don't know what your number is. I don't know what that number makes you think. Like if you look at that number, that's a fact, that number that you wrote down. It's a black and white number, whatever it is for you. And you have certain feelings around that. Maybe that makes you feel proud, that amount of money that you could actually wire another human. Or maybe you're not proud of that number for whatever reason. Maybe you're embarrassed by that number. I know I'm embarrassed about mine. I'll share with you what it is. My number is 0. 0 because, and here's why. It's not like I don't have any money. There is some money. It's not as much as I would like. Okay, that's for certain. But my wife controls all the money in our family. Like I don't track my money. I rarely count what I make. I rarely count what our expenses are. My wife handles all of the bills. Now here's the thing, guys. I am not exaggerating. She handles all of it. Like I got $50 cash in my wallet. If I want more cash, I ask my wife for it. Like I'm going to her like I'm a little kid. Now I am not proud of this. I didn't even realize I was doing this and I didn't know where it was coming from. But I have made a lot of money in my life. There were times I was making millions of dollars and thought I was pretty cool. And at that time, when I was at my top of my game and I thought I had everything, I started to lose everything. And I told you I filed a bankruptcy. I lost my cars. I lost my houses. I lost my daughter. The woman I was in love with took her away from me. Like I was really down. I was really bummed. And I started to realize I have made an excuse over the last decade of my life that it didn't matter with money. Like as long as my wife was counting it, she's a financial advisor or a recovering financial advisor. She now works with other financial advisor and people in the industry of money oftentimes. And so she loves it. She likes to count the beans. Like if I go make money, she gets excited. She counts it. She can't wait to count it. But honestly, since I don't even know one of our bank account numbers, I don't know how to log on. I don't know my PIN code. I don't know anything. If I was to have to wire you money to save somebody's life, I wouldn't be able to send you a penny unless I was able to talk to my wife and ask her freaking permission to have access to my money, our money, whatever. So I don't know what your number is, but I know my number, and I know how that makes me feel. So this was part of the exercise that I went through, and I'm asking you to go through. I'm not going to go ahead and say, this is my challenge for you today. I want you to do this. I already did that. I want you to just follow along and try to do this exercise with me while we're doing this. If you need to stop the car, freaking stop the car. And write down how it makes you feel with this number. I feel like a loser. I feel embarrassed. I feel a little worthless. I'm embarrassed about the number that I probably could come up with that I contributed to our family household number. And it's not relevant for you to have to share your number with another human. I'm not saying that, just for you. But here's what we did is we created another number. And I was asked the question about how much money I want in my bank at the end of the year. Now, I don't know when you're listening to this, but at the time I'm recording this, this is June. July is right around the corner, and we're halfway through 2018, almost. And so by the end of the year, there's 6 months left, and I've got some goals, and my financial goals have not been met yet. And I'm not on track to meet them. I'm also not proud about that. But as I look at what number I want in the bank, now there's a big difference between a gross income of like how much money your company makes and then how much you keep. You know, I heard Gary Vee talk just recently, and I've heard the story many times about how he helped build his father's wine company when he was a young man. Got out of high school, started working in his dad's business for a decade. He helped work in that business. He took it from $3 million to I think $60 million because he was right on the cusp of brand new online marketing. So when the internet just came out, and he jumped on Google AdWords, he jumped on email marketing, and he jumped on YouTube. And so the combination of that, he grew up with his dad's business a lot. But what he also shares is that his gross income of $3 million, his father's company, was only a net of, they only brought home 300. Now, 300 grand is not like poverty level. But if you live in New York, New Jersey, which is where they're from, that's not much money. You know, and that had to cover the expenses for the entire family. And so what happened is that, okay, hold on. Here's the reason why I'm sharing this, is that you need to write down your number. What is the number you want in 6 months? Like just what is it? Don't get caught up on the Gary Vee story. That's a whole nother aside. But what is the number that you want in your bank? I'm not talking about the gross, like you could brag and say, I want to make $3 million. That's fine. How much are you bringing home? See the difference there? In this case, 90% of the money that was bragged about on a $3 million company was actually given away in all the freaking expenses and taxes and whatnot. So what are you going to keep in king's cash? Like if you were the king and you have it in your vault, what would that be? So write down that number. Okay, so you got two numbers now. You got the number of what you could wire to somebody right now, and what's the number that you could wire cash to another human on January 1st, 2019? Write down that number. And then I want you to think about how it will make you feel to have that number. Now, you have 6 months to make it happen. And so if you need to pause this recording, please do, because this is a working exercise. And again, I'm getting to this core question of who do you need to become? See, this money question is just a more of amount of like who you need to become in order to make that happen. But do this in order. Go write on number one, your first number, then write down the number two of where you're going to have on January 1st, and then write down how that number makes you feel. Now, for me, I want there to be $100,000 in my bank at the end of the year. And I want it to be more, but I'm committed to being $100,000 cash that I could send somebody. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly how close I am to that just yet. I don't even know. Like I told you, I'd have to ask my wife permission to actually count our books. But here's the other thing I want is I know what I need to do. My intention before the end of the year is to control all of my money and all the money for our household. Like I don't want my wife to take on that burden anymore. Now, I haven't told her this. This isn't a podcast where I am announcing to my wife what I will do and won't do. This is just me committing to me. Now, I don't know what you need to do, but I know that how I want to be on January 1st, 2019 is that I handle all the finances for our household. And that I know to the penny what my company and I bring in personally. And I want to know that after all expenses, all taxes, all the cash, that there is $100,000 cash that I can send to another human. And how will that make me feel? It'll make me feel like a fucking man. It'll make me feel like I'm in control. It'll make me feel like that's actually how I thought I had been living my life, that I could have sent money like that to somebody, but not without permission from my frickin' wife. And I actually don't even know our numbers. I have no idea because my wife always counts it, and I've chosen to just be blind to it. Again, I'm not sharing this stuff with you today to tell you how proud I am of myself. That is not it. It is the follow-up question here that I wanted to share with you. Is after I write down of how good it's going to make me feel and how it's going to make my wife feel, have the confidence knowing that her man is taking care of her instead of her. She likes taking care of the money. We don't have any issues around it. It's not that. It's what I know she has not told me. What I know she has not told me is it doesn't make her feel comfortable, that she has to handle all the pressure of dealing with all that shit. How's that for truth for you? Now, I'm not hiding from this. I'm sharing it with you. I don't need to whine about it to you. I just need to own it. And that's what I'm doing right now, of owning it. I don't know what you need to own, but check out this next question. Because I can think about what it'll mean to me. I can think about how it's going to make my wife feel when I've got this handled. Again, this is the number that I'm committed to. But then there's a follow-up question of who do I need to become to make that number a reality so that I'm handling all of this. And I'm proud of that man that I will become 6 months from now. See, the reason that we set goals are not for the goal. It's not to get the prize. That's not what it's for. The reason that we set goals is about who we become in the process. That's why I love sports, because the journey of challenge, the journey of working with a team, of overcoming adversity. And whether you win or you lose, I hope you win most of your games versus lose, but I hope you get a combination of both, because you learn and you grow and you win when you lose as much as you win when you win. So here's the thing. As I started looking at this, I was like, who do I need to become? Now, I didn't ask this core question. Now, again, I was at a conference. I'm way into Garrett White and the Wake Up Warrior movement. And if you haven't checked that out yet and you are a man and you are in business, you should fucking do it. Like, holy crap. Go to wakeupwarrior.com, go check out warriorbook.com, or check out his book and just check it out. He's got a new book out called Be the Man. It's freaking phenomenal. He's got a new Warrior Women's program. You know what? I'm going to give props where it's due. This guy and this movement is freaking on fire. And these are basic questions. And I'm giving you an extension of them now on how it made a difference to me. So again, I'm going to you. Who do you need to become? Write down this question. Who do you need to become in order to create that number that you're going to have in your bank account on January 1st, 2019? And then how's that going to make you feel? That's a follow-up question. You got to go ahead and pause this recording when necessary so you can fill in the gaps. How's that going to make you feel? This is a big journey into your journal today for you to go ahead and learn this. And as I looked at that, that was pretty cool, but it gets better. Oh my God, it gets 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times better. So check this. What I want you to do next, hopefully you're following along with me. If you haven't done this exercise yet, then you're going to have to go back and make sure you do it with me through this whole podcast. And you write down these numbers and you answer these questions. Please do this. Please treat this as though you spent big money for what I'm about to share with you, because this is going to change shit for you. I promise you. I am super excited about this next little piece. So you wrote down 2 numbers so far. The number you can wire somebody now, and then the number that you can wire somebody by the end of the year. The next number I want you to write down is I want you to 10x that number, and the number that you're going to have at the end of the year. So if it's $100,000 in my case, that makes it $1 million. Now that's actually the number that I want. What I'm thoroughly committed to, without a shadow of a doubt, know what's going to happen, and there's all kinds of expenses and new things that we're going to do this year that may make my $100,000 difficult to go ahead and maintain. We have an adoption that we're working towards. There's a couple of things that are coming up that we need to make sure we're taking care of, and I'm wanting to make sure that I hit that number because I'm making a commitment to you. I want to make it a hell of a lot bigger than $100,000, but I'm just saying that's what I'm committed to. But for you, what's 10x your number? So it's a real easy math, guys. This is add a 0 to the back end of it. So whatever your number was, if it was $30,000, that makes it 300,000, or 30,000. If it's $30,000, that's right, it makes it 300,000. Whoa! Because the results that you're going to create, imagine who you would need to become to go from $30,000 to $300,000. And I want you to take this 2 levels deeper. Add another 0 to the back of that. That's 10xing that number. So for me, that takes it from $1 million to 10 million. And I get a little tingly when I think about that number. With the follow-up question of who do I need to become in order to be the man that generates $10 million. Now, this is not $10 million in gross income. This is $10 million in net income. Not even in net income, in the money that I put in my King's Vault gold that I can go ahead and wire to you in an instant if I needed to. That's the number. It's not just how much you've grossed and stuff like that. I've had a desire for a number of years to make $1 million a month, and this number is more in line with that. But think about it. If I'm making that kind of money, I still have some expenses. Making $1 million a month, which I am not close to right now, but let's just say that I hit that number. It does not equal 10 million that I have in my King's Vault cash that I could just send to somebody. And think of the follow-up question on this. Who do I need to become to make that number reality? And I'm going 2 numbers deeper on this one. You can continue if you like, or you can pause. It doesn't matter. But I'm going 1 deeper, adding another 0 on the back of that. And it takes 10 million to $100 million. Holy shit. For me to think about the type of man and leader and businessman and husband and father that I need to be, to go ahead and have $100 million cash after taxes. This is mine. Nobody can take it. This is in my vault. This is like, I am a king. I am sitting there and I have all these jewels and gold around. I'm talking about that kind of liquid cash, $100 million bucks. Like, I have rarely imagined myself as that kind of man to have that kind of freaking cash. And if I take it 1 number deeper, that's $1 billion. $1 billion. Not that I've made $1 billion. That would be great. That's a good pie. All this shit is pie in the sky, guys. All this shit is pie in the sky. I told you my number started with fucking 0. So let's not get into Trevor being Mr. Cool guy, because this is not what this is fucking about. This is about you and your number. And really, I don't even care about your number. I care about your number just for you, so you have a measure of your growth. And a measure of your growth, money is nothing but an extension of the amount of value that you have brought into other people's lives. And if you don't have a 10x return on that, then you are doing something wrong. That is my goal. I am looking for a 10x return. If I have $1 in my bank, I want to make sure it was worth 10 to someone else. That's my internal barometer. That is a goal I have with every dollar that I make. But the more important question about this money is not about the money. It's just at what level are you going to play? And what kind of person do you need to become? Today's power question is, who do I need to become? And then you fill in the blank about what it is so that you can have, so that you can be, so that you can do, so that you can take care of, so you can take care of your family, so that you can have vacations and you can have time to do what you want and you can live your life's purpose and you can be a man of God. I don't know what your thing is. It's up to you to fill in the blank. And it's up to you to ask and answer this power question. Now, this is a question that is going to be at the forefront of all the questions that I ask myself. For me personally, for the next 90 days. And I highly advise that you just, after all this pie in the sky bullshit, I don't know how far you took your number with adding the zeros at the end. But I suggest that you come up with a 3-month goal. That's what I'm doing. I'm coming up with a 3-month, 90-day plan. That from July, August, and September, that I'm going to focus on hitting that number. Because that's halfway through the next 6 months. And I've got a 30-day goal setting challenge that I'm promoting. Hopefully by the time you listen to this, if you haven't gotten my app yet, make sure that you get my app. On every podcast at the end of it, I put in the little download my app thing. So I'm not going to repeat to you the phone number. And it's on every one of my podcasts. I print a PDF that you can download and look at, and it's written on every one of them. Get my app. And if it's not on there now, it'll be on there soon, and you can just sign up for the 30-day goal setting challenge. It doesn't cost you anything. I just want you to help set and get any goal. But as we wrap things up today, I just want you to make sure that you get one thing, is the power of this question. And I hope you invested the time with me today and you didn't just turn me off. Like I had said yesterday, I believe it was on yesterday's podcast, I'm going to be spending some time over the next 7 to 10 podcasts talking about some of the biggest revelations I've had over the last 6 months. And some of the biggest truths I've got, some of the most vulnerable things that have shown up for me. And I want to share these with you because I think they can transform your life and your business. It's not about me bragging. This is about me just coming out and sharing with you what I think can make the biggest difference in your life. And quite frankly, I don't know how many people are freaking listening to my voice right now. I do zero marketing. I post up that I have, I do marketing. But lately I've been doing zero paid advertising for my podcast. Nothing. This is episode 81, I believe. And on episode 81, I have done nothing. Zip, zilch, zero, not spent one dime on marketing any of these. So if you're listening to this, my hat's off to you. Somehow you found me. I do post on Facebook a lot, and I do some posting. I post up all my stuff on my website. So if you follow that at all, but I've been piss poor at trying to get this message out. So you are lucky. And to be re-listening to this, and I honor you. And I hope you got some value out of it, and I hope you join me over the next 7 to 10 days as I split the best podcast I can possibly bring you on giving you the things that I think are going to make the biggest impact in your life. And I hope you join me. I hope one of the main things that you do is, if you have a goal that you've not achieved before and you want to get some help, that you reach out to me or you reach out to somebody and you get some freaking help. You do not have to do it alone. That is complete and utter bullshit. And if you feel alone, if you feel like you don't have help, if you feel like you don't know what to go do next, for the love of all that is holy, go get some frickin' help. And hopefully you're going to do something a little along the lines of what I'm doing, which is considering the man or the woman that you want to become. And you're writing down that question of, who must I become to get my goals and to have the results that I want to have in the world. And if you answer that question, then your life and your business will change. And if you don't know the answer right away, that's okay. Keep it at the forefront of your mind and of your tongue. And I'm going to keep it at the forefront of this for the next decade of my life, of who do I need to become to take my life and my business to the next level. Now, you and I have to define what the next level looks like. I hopefully gave you a little insight to that today in some simple math about your number of money, how much money you could wire someone else. And then hopefully that'll trigger a very simple and measurable goal for you to go ahead and make a difference in other people's lives. All right. That's all I got for you today. I think this was a little bit longer than I had planned. I told you 7 to 10 minutes. I'm freaking looking at my time right now. I went to 24 minutes. I apologize about that. But I love you, and I wanted to make sure that you got this and that I shared it. So this is straight from my heart. Can't wait to see you tomorrow on another daily dose of Greatness Quest.
To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.